Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most important parts of learning a new language, becoming fluent in English. It's a journey we all go through, and it's filled with challenges, excitement, and so many little victories along the way. In this video, I'll share my personal story, some practical tips, and a few examples that will help you not only improve your English, but also enjoy the process along the way. So grab a pen and notebook, get comfortable, and let's get started. Part 1. The beginning of my journey. Let me take you back to the start of my own journey. When I first began learning English, I felt overwhelmed. The grammar seemed impossible. The words felt foreign, and every time I tried to speak, I felt like I was tripping over my own tongue. But one day, I made a decision. I would get better no matter how long it took. I realized that the more I practiced, the more comfortable I became with the language. Tip 1. Start small, but start today. Fluency doesn't happen overnight. It's about taking small steps every day. Start by setting a daily practice goal. Maybe it's reading one page of a book, watching a short video, or speaking to a friend in English for just 10 minutes. I used to do something very simple. I would listen to English songs every day. At first, I didn't understand a lot, but I loved the music. I started looking up the lyrics and singing along. Over time, I began to understand more and more words. That's how it all began. Part 2. The importance of listening. One of the most important skills you need to improve fluency is listening. Before you can speak well, you need to train your ears to hear how native speakers use the language. Here's a story. I had a friend who really struggled with pronunciation. He would try hard to copy what he heard in movies, but it never quite came out right. One day, I suggested something different. Instead of just repeating, he should listen carefully to how people stress certain words, where they pause, and how their tone changes. He started watching movies with subtitles, and he'd focus on how the actors delivered their lines. Tip 2. Immerse yourself in English every day. Listening to the language as much as possible helps you naturally absorb vocabulary, sentence structures, and correct pronunciation. I recommend listening to podcasts, watching TV shows, or even eavesdropping on English conversations whenever you can. Remember, don't just listen passively. Try to focus on the rhythm of the language. This will help you speak more naturally. Part 3. The power of speaking without fear. Next, I want to talk about one of the biggest barriers to fluency. Fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding silly, fear of being laughed at. Let me share a personal experience. When I first started speaking English, I would always hesitate because I was scared of saying the wrong thing. I remember this one time in class, I was asked a simple question, but instead of answering, I froze. I didn't want to look foolish, but guess what? The more I hesitated, the more I stayed in that same spot, never improving. One day, my teacher gave me some simple but life-changing advice. She said, "It's okay to make mistakes. That's how you learn." From that moment, I decided to be brave, to speak up even if I made errors. And you know what? my English started to improve. Tip 3. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Embrace them. Fluency is not about being perfect. It's about communicating. The more you speak, the better you'll get. The important thing is to keep talking. Part 4. Practicing in real-life situations. Learning English in a classroom or by yourself is great, but the real test comes when you start using it in real-life situations. I had a student once who learned all the grammar rules perfectly. She could write flawless essays, but when it came to speaking in public, she would panic. So I gave her a challenge. Every day, she had to go to a local cafe and order in English. At first, she was really nervous, but with time, she became more confident. Tip 4. Use English in your daily life as much as possible. Whether you're ordering coffee, asking for directions, or chatting with friends, try to use English whenever you can. The more you use the language, the more it will become second nature. I remember when I started doing this, I felt awkward at first, but after a few weeks, I realized that my English was improving fast. Real life practice is one of the most effective ways to become fluent. Part 5. Learning vocabulary effectively. Vocabulary is another key to fluency. But here's a mistake many learners make. They try to memorize lists of random words. This doesn't work very well because it's hard to remember words without context. I once had a student who used flashcards to memorize 100 words a day. She felt good about it, but when it came time to speak, she couldn't remember a single one. The problem was that she wasn't using the words in sentences or conversations. Tip 5. Learn words in context. Instead of memorizing words, try learning them through stories, songs, or conversations. When you learn new vocabulary in context, it sticks better. For example, if you're learning the word journey, use it in a sentence like, "My journey to fluency in English has been challenging but rewarding." Make sure to use new words immediately in conversations or in writing. The more you practice them, the easier they'll come to you when you speak. Part 6. Building confidence by practicing with others. Speaking to yourself can help, but it's even better when you practice with others. Whether it's with a language partner, a friend, or even an online community, practice makes perfect. One of the best methods is to find someone who's also learning English and practice together. I once had 2 students who were best friends. They made a pact to speak only in English with each other. At first, their conversations were slow and full of mistakes, but over time, they got faster, more fluid, and more confident. Tip 6. Find a practice partner. You don't have to do this alone. Practicing with someone else will not only make learning more fun, but will also push you to improve faster. Plus, when you're having a conversation, you get to experience real-life English, the kind of English people use every day. Part 7. Patience and persistence. Now, here's something most people don't want to hear. Fluency takes time. There's no magic pill, no shortcut. It's about showing up every day, practicing, making mistakes, and learning from them. I had another student who would always get frustrated because he didn't see results quickly. He wanted to be fluent in just a few months. I told him to be patient. to celebrate small victories, and to trust the process. And sure enough, a year later, his English was amazing. The key was that he never gave up. Tip 7. Be patient and enjoy the process. Becoming fluent is a journey. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it may seem. Every new word you learn, every conversation you have is a step forward. Part 8. Final thoughts and motivation. Remember, fluency isn't just about knowing the right words or grammar. It's about confidence, practice, and a genuine love for the language. So, my final tip for you is this. Enjoy the journey. English will open doors for you to new experiences, friendships, and opportunities. The more you enjoy the process, the faster you'll improve. I want to know, what motivates you to become fluent? Is it travel, work, or maybe something else? Let me know in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching and keep practicing. Remember, fluency is possible for everyone. It's not about being perfect, it's about making progress. So keep going, and soon enough, you'll be speaking English with confidence and ease.